Hola, buenas noches. Good night, sorry. I was speaking in Spanish. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, loud and clear.
I hear you.
Nice talking to you. So I can see that we are 6 already, but it's still a little bit early, so we are going to wait for some more guests to attend. So I can see we have Shaili, Dr. Shaili from Cuba. We also have Sebastián Jauma, who is also working in the Balearic Islands. Jorge Cárdenas, who is joining from Peru. Dr. Datao Lin from China, I guess. And Dr. Jacob, I'm
From
not sure
Hawaii.
exactly where. So
From Hawaii.
from Hawaii. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you all for attending. We're going to wait for a few minutes, okay, to see if there is more people attending.
All right. Maybe they're not doing cameras. Have you ever seen those maps? That one's rats and snails and accidental hosts other than humans, and that's human cases. Oh, Vernon, that's Vernon.
Hello, Vernon. And hello, Robert.
Yes, it's me.
Hello, Gregory. I can see you as well. Nice meeting you finally. We're waiting for a few minutes to see if there is more people joining the meeting. Okay, before starting, we're just going to give them an extra couple of minutes if that's okay with you.
And this is my friend.
Okay. So hi everyone. Nice talking to you. Can you hear me? Fantastic. I suppose there will be some more people joining because Dr. Teixeira said that he was going to join as well. So, but well, if you prefer, so we can at least start saying hello. It's really nice seeing you all. I know some of the names, some of the other names, I don't know. Of course, some are very well-known people in the Angiostrongylus world. So no need for introduction to some of them. But I wanted to thank you all for attending the meeting. I know the time is tricky, it's very complicated. I can see to agree on a time where we all can attend. This was a bit of a challenge. And I realized, for example, people from Florida may not be able to attend because of the time. I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's yeah, it's very tricky because it's a meeting from with people from different parts of the world. But well, we are going to record this meeting in order to keep all the agreements and all the conversations and the suggestions, etc., for other participants to see later on. So, so I have prepared a little presentation just for us to discuss some of the topics that are important in this meeting. So if that is okay with you, I will share it.
Claudia?
Yep.
Can I just introduce my new graduate student sitting beside me?
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
She's working
Please,
on
Robert.
here in Hawaii. Her name's Emily Parent.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, hi, Emily. Nice to meet you. Hope to see you in the next meeting as well.
Thank you.
That requires money.
So I can see yours. Yeah, I've been reading your last articles, Robert. Maybe you would like to share with us at the end some just, brief discussion of these recent findings.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, that would be brilliant. So, so if that's okay with you, well, I don't know everyone, so maybe not everyone. Hold on a second. There is something. There is like some people are external to the organization. It says that are not able to attend or something. But strange because it's an open meeting, so it shouldn't be a problem. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there will be a problem. I think it's a direct entrance. Anyway, so I would like to introduce myself for those people who don't know me. My name is Claudia Paredes, and I am a Peruvian scientist, but I'm based in Spain, particularly in the Balearic Islands, in the island of Mallorca, where we found Angiostrongylus cantonensis in 2018. This was really interesting because it was somehow a warning sign that the parasite was arriving to this part of the world, to the temperate part of Europe, to the temperate region of Europe. And since then, we have been working a lot in the parasite, and we are very much involved and trying to collaborate with several of you, actually. And so it's my pleasure to be here, and thank you very much again for your attendance. So I'm going to start by sharing with you just a little presentation, so for us to have some sort of organization on the discussion that we have to on the topics we have to discuss. Okay, so just give me a second. I will find the presentation. Here it is. Okay. So can you all see this?
Yes.
Yes, yep.
Okay, fantastic. So this is the first meeting of the year, and so please correct me if the name of our group is correct, is well written, because we have changed the name of this, so I wasn't absolutely sure, but I think it is correct. This was a new name for the organization that we have, the International Alliance for Angiostrongylus and Angiostrongylliasis. And well, as you all know, our main focus is working in this important parasite that is expanding so rapidly in different regions of the world. So today I wanted to discuss, I think I already sent you some of the important topics that we need to address. The first one is where is it going to be?
Can I interrupt?
Yes, Robert, please, anytime.
It's a trivial point. I can't remember
It's okay.
whether it was International Alliance for Angiostrongylus and Angiostrongylliasis or International Angiostrongylus and Angiostrongylliasis Alliance.
Okay. Okay, that
doesn't really matter. But,
that's good to know, because we are going to. No, it's fantastic. It's okay. That's brilliant, because the next thing is going to be to build a website. So I think the correct name is important as well. So I'll keep that in mind.
Just check.
Thank you.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, I wasn't completely sure. I was actually trying to find it in the emails, and then I realized I didn't have it. So, but it came to my mind just now. So okay, so the alliance is at the end of the name of the meeting. Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, perfect. Maybe okay. Well, as long as it's correct in terms of English, that's something you know more than the non-native scientists. So please let us know. I don't know. For me,
Either way,
both sounds correct, but maybe one sounds better.
Either way.
Either way, okay. Anybody else who would like to address the name International Alliance? Yeah. Vernon, maybe you can give us your opinion on the name. I can't hear you.
I think that this name is okay. International Alliance for Angiostrongylliasis. Okay.
Okay.
It is
fantastic.
Good.
Well, either way, we have started this somehow new name for the organization. So the topics we need to discuss today are, the first one, as I told you, is the next meeting that we're going to have. The second is the logo, the website, the repositories, and the social networks, which is something also that we have been discussing in the past years and the past months. And I think it would be brilliant to start taking some steps in order to organize these things. I have some interesting news about it. And finally, I would like to give you some time for you to share some of your research in relation to cantonensis. So first, we have received a very generous offer of Dr. Shan Li from China, from the Shanghai, from the Chinese CDC. And he was telling us that he and his team could host the next meeting this year between September and October. So the first thing would be to ask you what's your opinion on this, both on the location and on the dates. Anybody would like to say something about this?
Claudia, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Shanghai, China City. So, good night and good evening, everybody. I'm very happy to join this meeting. Yes, I think the first topic is about the next meeting for our alliance. So I think in the September, October maybe is better. But I think the temperature maybe is better in the October. Normally in the September is a little bit hot. But I think last year we have this meeting in the Spanish. It's September. I'm not sure. So if, but for me, I prefer the October because the temperature is much better. I think another one is location because the Shanghai is it's very convenient for the international traveling. For the other city, but it's also beautiful, but it's sometimes it's difficult to transfer from Shanghai or Guangzhou to the other city. It's a little bit difficult. So I prefer in Shanghai and in October. So I want to know other opinions for this meeting.
Anybody else would like to share their views on the topic, on the date and on the place?
Just to say that we're traveling in September, so October would be better just on that front. But I think the weather is important. So if it's good, better weather in October, I would favor October if we're going to go to China or Shanghai.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good for us as well, because October it's I just been looking at the flights, and it seemed to be a better time for prices as well for flights. October is not high season apparently, so it's a little bit better. So if that's okay, we can begin we can agree on the month, at least in October, and then thank you, Dr. Shan, and then you can tell us exactly when that could be, and you with Dr. Liv, and yes, so we can agree on the details of this. Okay, fantastic. It's sorry, yeah. So yeah, that's brilliant. I hope to see you all in October then. It is quite far, so I hope it's going to be possible for everybody to attend. I know it's very difficult at the moment to confirm this, but Dr. Shang, do you think it would be possible to find some sponsors, at least to, I don't know, fund to some students, to the trip of some students that may have it more difficult to attend?
Yes, I will know how many students or the other participants should be support by my side. I can find some funding to support few people. Yes, I wanted to know who will be support. I need the name. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, fantastic. We can sort out the details, but basically the idea would be to have like, you know, a little funding, at least for some students, and from you know, from far away, at least to fund some of them. So yeah, we can discuss the details, but that would be brilliant. I think if we could find some sponsors, but I know it's challenging anyway, but that's, if it's a possibility, that would be fine. Because Pilar, I think she found some sponsors, so it was possible. Actually, even some researchers, I think Shaili Gonzalez from Cuba, she came as a guest researcher, thanks to this sponsor. Okay, so The
Thank you so much.
sorry. Yes, indeed.
Thank you so
So
much for these invitations, for this collaboration with us.
okay, Shaili. So the next thing would be the second topic is the website. Is related to the website, the logo, the social networks of the alliance, and also the repositories. So in relation to the logo, which is a suggestion of Robert Cowie, sorry, in relation to the website, we have an offer, a generous offer by Dr. Gregory Karadzian from ANSES in France to build the website. They would not only help us with the design, but also with the cost of the website. That would be actually for free, because at the moment we don't have any funding. So that I think that's a really good opportunity to make it possible. So I don't know, Greg is with us. He has joined the meeting. I don't know if you, Greg, can tell us something about it. He was yep.
Yes, I'm trying to connect because I'm in the taxi now, coming back from the cost action meeting. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, we have the opportunity in ANSES to host for free some websites. So I know the good contact for that. And you met Sandrine already, and she agrees to work on the content, on the directories, and etc. So all the architecture of the website could be done by Sandrine in our lab.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody else has something to say, but I think it's a really good opportunity to. Thank you so much, Gregory, for offering this.
It's with pleasure. Just to precise, we will need that people give us the content, and we can put on the website. So
okay, sure.
you can start to think about what you want inside. Would you like to put all the biblio of the people, or I don't know, but just tell us what you prefer, and we will adjust everything.
That's fantastic. Let me share with you a website from another organization. I think it would be interesting because it's a really interesting website. Please allow me, hold on. Yeah. So this is the European Society for Dirofilariosis and Angiostranguliosis, and they have this website that is, I think it's really clear, and it's basically they have some galleries, some general information on the organization, the aims and vision, the executive board. And they also have some interesting things, like, for example, how to become a member, some guidelines in general. This is something that we may not be, that we don't have yet, but maybe it's a possibility for the future, at least to have some guidelines for some basic diagnostic and surveillance information, right? And they have also some sponsorship, which is, I found it interesting as well, because that would be brilliant. I don't know, for future meetings as well. For example, they have these sponsorship programs where they can, the companies can, apply. They can pay some money in order to support the organization. Sorry. Yeah, so it's I think it's really interesting, and we can take a look and find some general information on this. There is also information on the scientists, in this case, mostly the executive board and the members. But I think it would be really interesting also to have something in relation to the research that the different groups are conducting as a general information. I don't know what's your opinion, but I think it's a really interesting example. They have their meetings as well, and they share the meetings here where people can, see this information, to have access to this information. So, in my opinion, that would be this kind of information in a website in a very simple way would be a fantastic way to start, and it would be an important goal of the year, I think. And of course, in order to have a website, we need a logo. We need a logo for sure. This is something that we need to that was suggested by Robert. And so how to build a logo? I was thinking, I don't know what's your opinion on the idea, but because I built a logo, but it's terrible. So we really need to improve the logo of the alliance. So in order to have a website, of course, we need a logo, and I think it would be interesting to involve the students, for example. To have like a little competition for students, well, for everyone really, who would like to, design a logo, and the winners could be also included in the website. I think it's encouraging for students to have their names in these scientific websites where they can, see that they have done a little contribution. I don't know what's your opinion on this, or if you have any experience on the topic on how to do this kind of competitions. Anybody? So yes, I think that's the possibility. I think, I don't know if you agree with that. Maybe we can try to organize this little competition through social networks, and including all our students and in general staff, to see how it can work. Okay, so if that's okay with you, then I can try to organize this online. Okay. Does anybody else has something to say or suggestion? If not, I will just carry on with the information. So another important thing is the website, the social networks. This is something that I think young people should be more active in this, because we have a Twitter account, for example, but I have been running this account, but basically it's difficult because it's time consuming, and I haven't been able to keep, an update on this. So this may be also, if you know a student or an undergrad or a doctoral student who may be interested in, running these social networks, maybe it would be brilliant as well. If not, well, we're going to try to do our best. But I think it's part of the way information it's shared right now. Social networks are important because they come very quickly, and they can be, they can arrive to more people, right? So we need to update this as well. But well, at least we have these goals. At least the first one, I think we're a bit closer in relation to the website. We are going to discuss this with Gregory, and of course we are going to discuss with the board and with everybody the content of this website for you all to agree. So Then there was something else in relation to the repositories. I was hoping to have Dr. Teixeira here, but I haven't seen him, which is a pity because Dr. Teixeira, Graf Teixeira. Well, maybe he's going to join later. If not, well, Dr. Teixeira did a really good job trying to get some these repositories for Angiostrongylus, where everybody could access to the publications. I think this is interesting, and we need to you know to try to update this information. It's very difficult. It's also time consuming, but I think in some countries, particularly those that don't have access to all the information, to all the articles, it would be valuable as well. But it's a pity that he's not here at the moment. We wanted to share all the information in relation, for example, the clinical epidemiological data, and maybe we can split that in different parts, and the scientists that are more related to the clinical aspects of angiostrongylliasis could be more in charge of this part, and those that are more related, for example, to the ecology, could be also more involved in another part. An idea that I was thinking that occurs to me is that maybe we can try to update these repositories with the recent articles that we all have. For example, if today we share the information on one of our recent studies, maybe we can immediately try to include this article in the repository. So does anybody have any opinion in relation to the repositories or experience in this? Because this was before my arrival to the group, so I'm not really very familiar with this. I was looking at the repositories and they need they need quite a lot of work. I don't know if any of you know something about these repositories that can tell us a bit more. Robert, do you know something about these repositories that were?
I'm afraid not.
Yeah. Well, I will have to discuss it with Dr. Teixeira. He is the one that was, promoting these repositories. And maybe we can leave this topic for the next meeting then. Okay, so finally, I would like to give you some minutes for an open discussion on your recent articles. Maybe you can tell us a little bit on what you're doing in terms of research or in terms of the findings on your interests. Anything that you would like to share with us in relation to your research that would be really interesting. So anybody would like to share something on the research, on the recent research? Some students maybe? Sebas, are you around there? I'm going to put you in trouble.
I can talk about our most recent publication if you wish.
Yeah, go on, please, Robert.
Before I do that, we've been joined here in the lab by another member of the lab, Jason Griffin. He's a postdoc in the lab, working on Angiostrongylus.
Hello. Hello, Jason. Nice to meet you as well.
So he was also involved in this most recent paper, which was published in, I suppose, in French it would be parasite, but we tend to call it parasite. It was published at the very end of December, I think Christmas Eve. And basically what we were looking at was to see whether the different species of snails, a selection of them, of the snails that we know to be infected in Hawaii. Whether the prevalence of infection in the wild is correlated with a food preference for eating rat feces. And turns out that we looked at 4 different species. We looked at Palmarian martinsii, which is a semi-slug, which has been implicated heavily in transmission of rat lungworm disease to humans. It's one of the species it's the species that exhibits the highest prevalence here in Hawaii, up to around 90% prevalence in the wild populations. We included that. We included 2 veronicellid slugs, Laevicollis alti and Veronicella cubensis. And we included, what was the other one, Chase? Giant African. And the other was the giant African snail, Lysacatina fulica. And it turned out that, to make it brief, that the Palmarian martinsii, the one that's very, very heavily, has very high prevalence in the wild, was indeed the one that showed the strongest preference for eating the rat feces out of the 4 food resources that we gave them choice of. Okay. And those food resources were decided upon because just by casual observation in the field, we know that these species like to eat the certain things. So we confirmed our hypothesis. It was not strongly confirmed. It suggests that it's not the only reason for the high prevalence in some species and the lower prevalence in others. There must be other reasons that must be perhaps not related to this food choice or encounter filter, but to what's called the compatibility filter, which would mean it involved the physiology, immunology, and so on of the actual host being suitable for the parasite to survive in the snail. So that's the story in a brief few words.
That's fascinating. I saw your article in Parasite, and I keep saying parasite as well. You're right, it should be parasite. And so this confirms your previous finding, because you already kind of knew that this semi-slug was the main responsible for the transmission in Hawaii, right?
It's important, yes.
And so that's something that I think it's not very well understood. I think in general we all know that the parasite can be present in many different species of gastropods, but it's not very clear in which ones. Well, in Hawaii you have done a lot, but in the rest of the world it's not very clear which species are more likely to carry high parasitic loads as well, right? It's something that it's important in terms of prevention, because some are widely distributed, some are not so much. And so yeah, we have done a small pilot study trying to identify also, start to identifying these species that have more prevalence, that will have more higher parasitic load, for example. And we have found something really interesting just by working in one of the sites, one of the endemic sites. We haven't done the work extensively because we are running out of funds. But in this small area, we have found something really interesting. I don't know if Sebas, my student, is there who would like to share with us. If not, I will have to say it myself. Sebas? No, I think he's not connected. So we found that mostly slugs were carrying higher parasitic loads. Actually, in this particular area that we studied, there was a positive rat, and the slugs that were around were carrying very high parasitic loads, actually. but not much. The snails, not so much. Actually, none of them came as positive. So it was fascinating to see that it can be important difference between the different gastropods, right? And it may also be related to the fact to what you were saying about their feeding preference. So that there is a lot to understand in relation to the biology of these vectors. So, so thank you, Robert, and for sharing your research on the topic. Does anybody else would like to? Sorry, Robert.
No, I just said you're welcome.
Okay. Anybody else would like to share with us something in relation to your research?
I can go. So I'm seeing a lot of new faces. My name is John Jacob. I work with the Sue Jarvie lab. I work with a lot of pharmacology studies, clinical studies, help with Vernon and some of his studies as well. So one of the study we're doing right now, it's ongoing, that we're looking at the sequelae aspect, meaning the long-term effects of rat lungworm disease. So we did a study, or it's like I said, it's an ongoing study where we interviewed 35 individuals who are still experiencing I want to say aftermath or long-term issues with rat lungworm disease. So the interview basically consisted of questions such as how they got it, where they got it from, if they know. The entire study is purely based on personal communication. So no medical record or anything required, so they can speak freely. And the main part of the study is what signs and symptoms or what sequelae are they still experiencing from rat lungworm disease, and what interventions, what medical interventions. It's not limited to the medical. It could be homeopathy. It could be any other traditional medical system, including Indian or Chinese or even Persian, and what is working for them, and what are the most common sequela they're suffering from, and what is the what seems to be the most effective intervention for a specific sequela. So we're working on that. We interviewed 35 individuals, or patients, I should say, and that includes 19 confirmed diagnoses, either by PCR or a parasite recovery in the cerebrospinal fluid or even the eye, and or ELISA testing using various qualified antibodies, not necessarily 31 kilodalton that we use here in the US. So it's still work in progress. We're still writing up the results section, and hopefully maybe in a month or two, I should have a rough draft. But we have some really interesting results that could help the community that already went through the disease, and to help them support them. Because one of the message that came across interviewing all 35 patients where they had no clue what to do. They had no guidance. Doctors didn't know what to do. So we thought this paper would give some guidance to the patient as well as their clinical provider. So that's the goal.
Thank you, John. It's really interesting. I think it's we know that actually that you have a problem there, that it's very unique, right? Because you have also an organization of patients that are very actively
That is correct. Mm-hmm.
And it's like a window to the future for the new endemic regions, because there will be human cases in the future. I'm more convinced now than before, I think, but we don't know when are they going to occur, right? So all this information is going to be very valuable as well. and as all the information that you have already collected for the gastropods and for the paratenic host. All this information for us is really, really important. Does anybody else want to so thank you so much. Anybody has a question for either Jacob or John or Robert?
I have a question for Jacob.
Sure.
Do you think this could cross-react with other species of Angiostrongelus or not?
For pre-assumptive diagnosis, yes. For that is so that is a possibility. There are other diseases, leptospirosis. We're seeing very similar signs and symptoms, which is difficult for patient to describe. You know, to someone looking from outside, it would be very similar. So that's why we treat the confirmed diagnosis patients separately and the pre-assumptive patients separately, and the analysis is done separately altogether to keep that distinction.
I was more wondering about angiostrongialiasis in dogs or in cats for diagnosis for the vet.
Yes. So here we are widely using this assay. You probably know the ACAN R3990 assay that's been widely used now. Hawaii Department of Health is now on getting ready to endorse it. So that does cross-react with Angiostrongelus macaraceae.
Oh, okay. You never tested for Vasorum or Chabody?
I did not. That's not. I'm more clinical side, not molecular, not on the diagnostic side.
Oh, okay.
And I should say we don't have Vasorum or Chabody here in Hawaii.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you repeat that, Robert? Sorry.
We do not have Angiostrongelus vasorum or Angiostrongelus chabodi in Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. So it's important also to know, do you think it's important to know all these, parasites that co-circulate with cantonensis in order to have like an effective diagnostic technique? What's your opinion on that? This baseline on knowing which other parasites are circulating in gastropods? It would be really important, don't you think? It's, I think, the basis for a good diagnosis. Well, in my opinion.
Yeah, we need to
Anybody
be able.
else?
I think.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I can hear a bird. It may be from Hawaii or from one of these tropical beautiful places, because it's unusual to hear this kind of birds. We have a person who's raising his hand. It's Rodrigo Alejandro. Rodrigo, do you want to say something?
Hello, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Hi, from Peru. I'm the student from Dr. Maria Antonieta Quispe. She invited me to join the meeting because we're gonna start to sampling in Peru, in gastropods of the jungle region in Peru. Hello, everyone.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Rodrigo. I think we should talk because actually there is people here also from Peru. Gabriela is around there, and also I think Gabriela is here, and I think they have similar interests, and Jorge as well. we're going to start conducting some research in rats. And we have already done some in gastropods also from the jungle. So we should discuss in order to collaborate. So please mention this to Dr. Quispe, because that would be brilliant.
Yeah, it would be great to work together to find new things here in Peru. Thanks
Yeah.
for all.
Yes, thank you for bringing this up, Rodrigo, because Peru is one of the few South American countries where the parasite hasn't been found. It's actually in all the countries surrounding Peru. It's in Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil. I think it's in many of the countries around the Amazonic area, but Peru is not hasn't been reported. So it would be, I'm sure it's there. It's just a matter of time. Argentina is also positive as well. So Susan is not able to connect, I'm afraid. So I'm reading. Yeah, I'm reading her comments. So I have told her that I was going to read her comments. She is telling me that there is a pathogen next special issue, and if anybody would be willing to contribute with articles, so please contact Susan, because it would be really important to have all these studies together. So this is an invitation for her to collaborate in the next special issue. So it's pathogens, right? Okay. Yes. Anybody else would like to share something? So in relation to our research here in the Balearics, we carry on trying to understand all the different factors that may be affecting the prevalence in the different regions of the island. We have a small territory, well, not that small, but it's it's an island. But I think this is important because it's very easy for us to identify things in a limited space of territory. So I suppose it's similar to the studies that have been done in Hawaii. That these island ecosystems bring some advantages. So something that we have observed in hedgehogs, in wildlife, is that most of them get ill during autumn, when temperatures are high, because autumn in Mallorca is warm and it's also rainy. This is something that has been observed in other parts of the world, but we have a very clear peak, at least in wildlife. We are trying to see if this is got any connection to the transmission risk in humans, that and now we're observing the presence of L3 larvae in gastropods from endemic regions, just to see if these L3 larvae appear in this particular time as well. This is a collaboration that we are conducting with Gregory Karadzian, and we're hoping to have some interesting results in the future. But as I said, in wildlife, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to see this peak during this season, and then that's it. So yeah, that's a little bit of our in relation to our updates. And something that I would like to mention as well is that there have been some human cases recently reported in Florida. I don't know if, I'm sure you must have heard about them, the 3 cases in children. Also, there is a recent study in Australia, in Sydney, where they have analyze all these eosinophilic meningitis cases, and they have seen several, actually many, but only some of them were confirmed. So the rest were not sure if they were cantonensis or not. Most they can not say they were, but so yeah, that it's I think it's important. We are trying to also identify the risk here for children in Mallorca. So yeah, well, I wanted to share that recent information with all of you. Anybody else would like to share or comment something on the recent cantonensis findings here? Okay, then. So, yeah. Shaili, sorry, I didn't see your hand. Do you
Yes.
want to share something?
In Thailand, there are studies about co-infections, Angiostrophilus cantonensis with Angiostrophilus malaysiensis in humans.
Oh yeah, I saw that article. It's true.
Is this the
That's
same
interesting.
for other countries?
Yeah, that is true, Shaili. Thank you for bringing this up. That was strange and that was fascinating. Yeah, that the both parasites were found in Thailand. It's true. I think it was the first time, right, that it was found. Also, I think also in Valencia, they found 2 different genetic variants in the same rat, which I think it was interesting. The Valencian, well, sorry, for those who don't know where Valencia is mainland Spain. They also found cantonensis in 2022, and they have analyzed the genetics of the rats, and they have found 2 genetic variants. That's interesting because in Mallorca we only have 1. So although we cannot say for sure, but it's likely that it was in Valencia first, and it's been there for a while. Yeah, and that was possibly the origin. Well, but that's something we don't know for sure yet. Okay, so just to summarize, we have to focus on the website that Greg is offering to help us with. In the logo that I will send an invitation for a contest. Let's see how successful we are to motivate students and people in general to build a logo, and then I will talk to Dr. Teixeira about these repositories that need to be updated. And we have this next meeting in Shanghai, in China, in October, most likely. So we are going to give you some more details in the near future. So keep connected and keep reading your emails, because we're going to keep you updated with that information. Okay, so if anybody else has something to share, just a quick question. Is the time okay, or do you think we should change it the next time in order to have more people attending? What do you think? Maybe the Hawaiian team that has been more frequently, has been to more meetings that me, or maybe the Chinese team. Is the time okay, or we can move it in order to have more people involved?
Claudia, I just want to say this time is perfect for people in Hawaii, but I think we have to change the time we can be more, or I can only speak for myself, but I can be much more flexible about the time. And I think it's really important we get people from as many different parts of the world as possible. So I'm happy for you to change the time, although, you know, it's great for people in Hawaii, but realize you have to change it. That's my 2 cents worth.
Okay. Any idea at what time was it before? The meetings, at what time were before in Hawaii? Like, just to see.
The problem is that you have people in Eastern Europe all the way to Thailand.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And
It's quite tricky.
we're in the middle, so some people
Yeah.
are excluded anyway because it'll be 3 in the morning for them.
Yeah, I know. I have some friends from the US that were telling me that they would have liked to attend.
I don't see why
We may be.
it's a problem for them because right now it's on the east coast of the US. It's only 7 in the evening, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, in the West Coast. I think it was in the East Coast. The
Yeah,
East
the East
Coast
Coast,
is.
the East Coast, it's 7 in the evening.
Okay, really?
1900. Yeah.
Okay. So then that was not. Oh, Eric Morgan is here now. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
He was traveling, so he was in the at the airport. He told me he may join, but he was flying, so it was going to be a bit tricky. Not sure if he's been able to connect. So I'm sorry, I will have to. So yeah, well, I'll think about the time. Maybe we can swap. Maybe we can change, you know, the times, like in the next meeting to have it in the, you know, it's going to be tricky for me because it's going to be in the middle of the night. But well, one bad night of sleep is not too bad. I think I can handle it. Okay, so and how about the people from China? Because I think I have make you wake up very early today.
That's okay. In Shanghai, in China now it's morning 6 o'clock. But now it's 7, so I think it's okay. But it's still a little bit earlier, yeah, particularly in the winter. In summer, it's better maybe. No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So it's going to be brilliant to be in China for all of us. I think it's going to be an excellent experience to be in a place where somehow, you know, the first cases were, well, not exactly there, but you know, in the country that made so many important contribution in the field of androstenediasis. Okay, so, well, I think that's it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Before you go, Claudia,
sorry, Rob. Sorry.
Yeah, just one thought. I should have thought about this before. I think we need to somehow formalize the email list because I think that each of us has got our own list, and I suspect that people are missing from various people's lists, but different people are missing. See, I have a list, but it may be different from Pilar's. She might have added some people, but I don't have those people, and vice versa. And I think everyone's probably now, there have been enough emails going around that we've each probably got a slightly different list to send things to. It would be nice to have some kind of formalization of the list to be as inclusive as possible.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. I'm sure there is more people that would be interested. So you mean including more people or just checking who is not involved?
Yeah, I would say just sure that we just need someone to create a master list.
Albert Chrysson.
Yeah, I think
But also, there's people who are not on the list who probably should be. But maybe we need to somehow send a message to whatever list you've got, inviting people to suggest additional, perhaps well-known people that just for some reason are not on the list.
okay. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And what's your opinion on having this meeting completely open, like for all the people to attend? Like, for example, in social networks, we can announce the meeting for everybody that would be interested, even if it's not in the list. Maybe it's not, they are not working in Cantonensis, but maybe they would like to attend, to other parasitologists. I don't know. Do you think would be like an open to everybody? Is it a good idea, or should we keep it for those people in the list?
I don't have a strong opinion on that at this point. I have to think about it. But remember, we expanded the group to include not just Cantonensis, but certainly Costa Ricensis, Fezorum.
That is true.
In fact, any species of Angiostrongylus. I think that the group should include. So someone mentioned Chabody earlier.
Yeah, there is some.
Malaysiensis has been mentioned. Macaraceae has been mentioned. All of these people should be able to attend these meetings at least.
Okay. Okay. There is they have a meeting of the European Society for Angiostrongylliasis. I'm afraid I haven't been able to register. I don't know if any of you, Greg, maybe, is attending, or maybe Eric is attending the meeting. I don't know if any of you would be attending. Hi, Eric.
Hi, yes, I'm going to attend that. That's in Thessaloniki in May, right?
Yeah, in Thessaloniki, right?
Yeah, so I'll be attending for sure.
Maybe I can discuss with the organizer that I know personally, which is a really, really nice person, Anastasia. Maybe we can at least send, poster with the, information about our society. It's late because the abstract submission is finished. So I don't know. What do you think, Eric? Should we give it a try just to contact this?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they'd be happy for us to speak about this network at that meeting.
Okay.
So we should speak to Anastasia. Maybe we could have a summary of some of what's come up in recent publications on Cantonensis to present to that group.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it would be brilliant to connect with them. They have a very well-established organization, and they have, meetings. Like, I've been in one, and it was brilliant. Actually, they have a lot of sponsors that fund, trips, and it's a really well-established organization. It's interesting that there is apparently more funding for these veterinary meetings than for those from human parasitic diseases. It's very strange, but well, it's kind of the reality.
It's not strange. I had a discussion with some industrials, and treating parasitology, it's half what they own each year. So it's logical.
Yeah, that is true as well.
That parasitology is already giving them a lot of money. That's why.
Yeah, they have plenty of money. I saw. Yeah, they even give us, presents, something like that. That was completely different to those from human parasitology meetings. That was strange, but yeah. There is somebody saying something in the chat. Sorry, I'm just gonna read before finishing. Yeah, definitely. I will include you in the list, Rodrigo. So don't worry about it. I'll ask Pilar because I know she built a list, and it would be worth update this and extend it as much as possible. So fantastic, everyone. Thank you so much. I will also talk to Anastasia about this meeting. And well, that's it then. So thank you all for the effort in attending, and I hope to see you in the next meeting, which is going to be in a few months. I will ask the board about, I don't want to do too many meetings, but maybe a good, connection, it's important as well. Okay, so thank you so much. Good night from Spain, and I hope to talk to you and see you soon.
Thanks very much for doing this, Claudia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.